Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Unfortunatelly, this time with another snippet of a demo called Chorus. Now, Chorus is a spaceship fighting game where you fly a ship to space and blow shit up. And I absolutely am down for that. I've also always been a Haze Combat fan. I haven't played Haze Combat in years, but I've always loved the, fighting simulations of fighter planes. So I was really hyped to play this game. Now, the setup of the premise is really simple. You are Nara. You are part of a consortium of an empire called the Circle, but then you witness something that you don't like. They kill innocent people right in front of you and you just turn against them. I mean, it's a one-line plot kind of thing, but it just sets up both the universe and your motivation to play the game and to play with Nara. Nara flies the Forsaken, which is a sentient ship. I don't know if it's an old ship or a new ship or a new AI ship, but it is a sentient ship, and you have back and forth with it, talking about it, about your presence in the universe, your presence against the Circle, and your motivations for it. So it's a little snippet of history that I think works.
Be in hell.
Now, the game itself looks amazing. It looks really, really cool. The map itself, it's just, at least the part that there is in the demo, is just asteroids with, buildings and other ships there. So it doesn't really flesh out anything about, the environment. You don't go to other planets. I don't know if you go to other planets or the systems in it. In this case, it's just asteroids. You do get a little small tutorial about about the abilities that your ship can do. Several types of ammunitions, of fire rates, and you have a laser that destroys shields, you have missiles that destroy armored enemies, and you have a Gatling gun that destroys, basically everything. You also have this new gimmick that I think it's unique to this game, which is you have the ability to drift the ship. You kind of like you can do this slide at high speeds with the ship, which I think is really cool, but it's really complicated to pull off. So when I started the demo, right after the first or second mission, I had really, really complicated times figuring out the controls and what I was supposed to do, or what was I supposed to be using against these ships, because I have no lock-on. There's no lock-on for missiles, which I think is a miss, because I think all the missiles, usually in these types of games, missiles do have a kind of a lock-on. And you don't have a radar, which means you don't know exactly where the enemies are in position to you. I mean, you do have a lot of icons on the screen that tell you where they are, but icons don't reflect the distance or the actual position that they are in relation to you. They just put the position on the screen, and then you have to turn around and around and around. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again: if you're doing spaceship or airplane fighting games, you have to include a radar. This is a typical thing that in real life all planes have, because it is necessary. You need to figure out your position in relation to the other to your enemy, and even projectiles or missiles that they're throwing. You need to go where they're coming. I think from the left or right. I don't need an icon on screen telling me, oh, it's on the edge of the screen, and I try to turn to that edge of the screen, whether left or right. And I never figured it out, because it's always going more and more and more and more, and I just gave up. So in that sense, I had a really big problem adjusting myself to the controls. I then tried a bunch of different things, and I realized that I have an instant teleport that can put me right behind the enemies, and this is the thing that I use the most. I thought I was supposed to use more the drift, the heart turns left and right and up and down, but no, actually you just have to press this button to put yourself in the position right behind the enemy and just shoot them down. And so I end up spamming this a lot. This does have a small cooldown, so you need to be ready to use only in particular locations, and you have to figure out what ship you want to focus yourself on with the right ammo. If you for instance, trying to use a laser against an armored enemy, it won't do anything. It'll just be immune to it. But if he's not, then you have to use the laser to take out his shield first, and then the missiles to take out his armor, and then the Gatling to take out everything else. But it's really complicated. I really think that if the missiles had automatic lock-on, like they have on Zone of Enders or in other games, you can just shoot them the lasers and then go to the Gatling and finish the job. I think it would work better. The way it was done, I don't think it works very well. At least it's not very intuitive for me. And I have played airship fighting games or spaceship fighting games, and I couldn't get into the gist of it. I mean, it was very, very late in the game when I finally realized, okay, I have to change my complete mindset to kind of try and enjoy it, the demo as is. Because there was a part in the end where you have these towers with missiles and turrets on the side, so you need to fly and adjust the position of the ship to destroy these turrets, and then go around, and then make a second pass and a third pass. And you know, this feels more like what I used to do, but of course when you have the 30 ships flying around while you're trying to complete this mission, it's really complicated. So I decided to, you know, I had to work around these things all over again and use the teleport and just figure out what munitions I was. Of course, there is a modifying system. There is a hangar where you can go, you know, to get more power to your weapons, more better lock-ons, more efficiency in your missiles and all that. You can do all of those things. But right on the first stage, the thing that got me more complicated was just figuring out the path that I could do to complete the mission. That was really the complicated thing, because again, I have no radar. I didn't know where even where the objectives were, because in Ace Combat and in other games they give you a briefing about, okay, this is where the enemy is, this is where the towers are, and you can decide a little bit the path that you want to choose to, you know, complete the mission. In this case, there was just blips on the screen. I have to fly around and die multiple times just to figure out where everything is. And then on the last one, I was like, okay, I'm going to do the run this way, and then take out these guys, and then take out these guys. But you know, it was trial and error. It was not something that was in a briefing or something like that. So that combined with the frustration of the controlling the ship not exactly working perfectly like I wanted, the frustration of not having a radar, it really determined the experience. I mean, I'm sure there are people that will, if you struggle yourself through this first phase, if you pass through that first phase and then just embrace the game as is, I'm sure they'll find an audience and they'll enjoy it. The problem is the people like me that already played these games, this kind of deviates a little bit from that. It deviates a little bit, and sometimes it deviates a lot from the normal fighting experience. So people might not enjoy it right on the get-go, and they say, okay, I'm just not going to play it. This isn't for me, which is a real shame, because the game does look fun. It does, you know, it does have the particle effects and those Star Wars explosions, and you can do really cool maneuvers with the ship once you get into that groove. But to get into that groove, that's the real problem. But that's it. That's just my opinion about it. I do suggest that you at least give it a try for the demo. You know, just try to have a feel for it. You might enjoy it. I can't say it's for me, but it might be for you. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And as always, have a great game, guys.
This is Chorus. Experience fast-paced space combat across mind-bending astral planes in an epic story to overthrow the biggest threats the galaxy has seen. You play as Nara, the former right hand of the Great Prophet and commander of otherworldly power amongst the Circle, who rule over the galaxy with an iron fist. After the destruction of Namika Prime and crippled by guilt, Nara abandoned the evil cult, burying everything dear to her. When the Circle returns, there is nowhere left to hide. It is time to face the demons of the past. But you won't be able to do this alone. Every pilot needs a ship.
I will fight beside you.
Forsaken is a sentient ship and Nara's oldest ally. The two share a deep bond, and together, we're an unstoppable force. Now, Nara must reclaim her lost powers. Be one with Forsaken and defeat the evil tyranny of the Circle before the galaxy is lost forever. With every battle, your power will grow, unifying you both as the ultimate force in the galaxy.